Hey guys, Henry here. Just making this video because we've got 7 days to go until the project's, launching and the funding window's over. And I thought I'd round up how I feel about how things have gone and where I see us going vis-a-vis further funding, my current workflow, and my post-launch plans. Suppose I should get started by talking about how things have gone. I have to say it's been amazing. It's been very exciting, hasn't it? Within, I think it was 2 days, two to 3 days, we exceeded the funding of Union Asunder, which had already been my most funded project. So we're already like up here vis-a-vis like my expectations, how things are going. I even had to come up with new stretch goals. It's pretty overwhelming. It's amazing. So thank you so much for your support and just getting us where we are. I think the Godzone scale interview went down rather well, which is a surprise because that was 2 hours long. It wasn't 3, was it? It was exceedingly long. I haven't even listened to the whole thing myself, to be honest, mostly because of self-consciousness about my own voice, but still, the fact that people presumably sat and listened to the entirety of that is pretty incredible, because I do think I have a bit of a habit of waffling on. I want to thank everyone for their support. I know I've said that already, like in written form numerous times, but we would not be where we are, obviously, without the support people have given, and the ways in which people have gone above and beyond just giving support, but have actually taken it upon themselves to promote the range, spread the word around. You don't have to do that. That's been great. I guess people just want to see me sculpt that brig. I want to see me sculpt that brig, but at the same time I'm rather terrified of having to, learn to actually do detailed planking, because when you do the tiny ships, you don't need to worry about the little planks. But yeah, moving on from there though, sorry. I have a plan down here. I'm working with a script for once because I want to make sure I say everything I'd wanted to. Stretch goal progress. I'm very happy with how we've done so far. A lot of what I wanted to see get funded has been funded. I had some skin in the game for the Poles. I think I've said elsewhere that my favourite Napoleonic army actually is the Duchy of Warsaw, so it's great to see that. I always like playing as the underdog, so thank you for giving me the chance to make sure those get sculpted. And the French light regiments too, because personally as a Napoleonic player, I generally play the French. When I lived in Russia, my army was a French army, so yeah, I was glad to be able to round off my own range there. From the Peninsula range highlights, we've funded the Highlanders, which I figured were going to be very popular, the 95th Rifles as well, and Spanish Guerrillas, so that's actually looking like it'll be a proper, well-rounded range now, isn't it? I might be shooting myself in the foot here, but fingers crossed, I think we should hit the 15k mark. I'm really hopeful I'm going to get a chance to sculpt that Royal Navy landing party and hopefully the landed cannon, though that might be getting a bit too hopeful. But God, if we got the brig funded as well and all the launches, you'd be able to have proper little amphibious landings. Oh, maybe, touch wood. Wooden death down here, I'm touching that. And for the Germanic miners, if I'm confident that we'll get the Royal Navy landing party done, I'm sure we'll also get Baden, at least, in the set. Maybe Denmark. Any Danish people watching, go spread the word. Get some funding in, because we're going to need like 20k to get Denmark done. But yeah, stretch goals. It's great. Like I think we've done very well. So thank you again. Just we've still got a week to go. Generally, with these projects, you see a big spike at the start and a big spike at the end. So there's still a chance we might have some very good progress there. We'll see. I'm hoping more stuff gets funded. This project actually has been sort of bump from like Godzone scale. A lot of people came in because of that, and then bump. As for my workflow right now, the last week has been, as I'm sure many of you have seen if you follow my other work, the last week has been dedicated mostly toward Union Asunder. I want to get all of the outstanding stretch goals done for that. I released a full array of greatcoat infantry, and I'm currently working on the multi-part 28mm sets. I recently had my COVID vaccination, so I spent the last couple of days a little drowsy, didn't really get much done, but now I'm back on the game. Some of you might also have seen, in addition to 28mm, the other rescale effort we had, 6mm. These are the same components from Union Asunder, from the American Civil War range, mixed with some assets I've taken from my Europe Asunder work to make teeny tiny. These are great co-infantry. I'm not sure if that's going to focus, but yeah, teeny tiny figures. They're up on my mini factory. These aren't from a Kickstarter, so spent a lot of time doing that. Speaking of which, while I am discussing 6mm American Civil War, I was asked what my plans are for that range. Is it going to include artillery and cavalry? To answer that quickly, because we're on a video that's not really relevant to that, I'm so sorry for segueing this in. Artillery I will get to when I have time, when I feel like it's convenient. I'll do that because all the assets are already there. For cavalry, I will do cavalry when I'm doing cavalry for Europe Asunder as well, because as I said, there's a lot of shared assets, so might as well do it when I'm already sculpting it for Europe Asunder. So yes, American Civil War will be a comprehensive range. It's just sort of going to trickle out. That's American Civil War in 6mm, by the way. The 10mm, 15mm range is already almost complete, so if you like those scales, look at Union Asunder. It's an add-on for this project, actually. If you want 6mm, you'll have to hold out and just buy them as they come out on my mini factory. We've got 4 infantry sets there now. Anyway, sorry. This is meant to be our pep talk for the last week before releasing Europe Asunder, so I'm going to shut up about the American Civil War. Vis-a-vis plans... I'm liking that phrase a lot, vis-a-vis, sorry. Regarding plans going forward for the next Kickstarters for the Napoleonics, we've already funded the stretch goal to make cavalry, so we're getting a cavalry set coming. That's happening. And 1812 plus, that will come. I'm going to discuss about my future plans at the end of this, but just to put it out there, we're definitely getting cavalry and horse artillery. 1812 plus should be coming. I'm just a bit more tentative about when that will happen. My workflow, to finish off, mostly American Civil War, but the week going forward, it's going to be just getting everything for this ready. I've already spent a lot of time making little quality tweaks, really minor pedantic stuff like shifting crossbelts around, resculpting crossbelts. Crossbelts have actually been rather problematic. Changing some of the coats, I lengthened the tails on the Frenchies. I'm just going through every model, looking at it very close, and then I'm going to be re-exporting the whole range for like the 4th or 5th time and getting them all uploaded to MMF. That'll be happening next week, and the idea being that everything will be just ready to go on the 17th. However, we do need to discuss delivery. I've been speaking to my rep, Brian, at my mini factory, and I've been told that the pledge manager should become available after funding is received from Kickstarter, which I think could take like 4 to 7 days. So I think that by the 25th of June is when everyone should have access on MMF. Regarding delivery of the Blender files, I'm going to approach that a bit differently. The STLs are all going to be on my mini factory only. That's the only way you're going to get it. But if you've backed the Blender files, I'm going to be uploading them to my mini factory in an iterative manner, like 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, so on. But I will also be emailing out Dropbox links, so you can also access the live files as I'm working on them. So you have a choice there. If you want to look at them iteratively with a change log, and I'll put out a notification every time an update is uploaded. You can use my mini factory. If you want to just look at the living file, you'll have Dropbox. So you can one or the other. Well, yeah, just general plans for the future. I'm optimistic that we're going to do well with the funding, especially what with everyone being so helpful and posting word around. My mini factory will be putting the project in banner images for 3 days prior to launch, and it will be included in the email rounds they do. So hopefully we might see a spike of support from there. As for workflow, with regards to the future Kickstarters, well, German Miners, I'm going to be releasing, I hope, 2 weeks within the launch date, and Peninsula Campaign 1 month. So 2 weeks, kind of. Cavalry Kickstarter, I will start working on that as soon as the majority of the stretch goals for this project are completed. By majority, I mean I've already said that the brig I'm going to work on kind of in the background, and that's going to take quite a while. So I will start on the cavalry as I'm working on the brig. But I mean, all the basic kind of figure-based stretch goals, once those are all done, I'll start experimenting with the horses and things. The 8 and 12 plus range, I don't really know when I will get to that. I have some other releases coming out. There's an almost completed Cold War project that I want to make a more modest Kickstarter out of. Nothing like this. It's not going to be modular in the same way with Blender files and that. Probably it's just going to be figures. So there's a Cold War range I want to release, and I've been promising my naval fans for the longest time that there's going to be another naval Kickstarter, Gilded Sails 2. I will probably be balancing that alongside the Cavalry Kickstarter. My general, where I want to be is I want to be working on two things at once. Half for, I don't know, creative fulfillment, because I like to split my day in half, so I work on one thing in the morning, one thing in the afternoon, and it's just nice to have some variety. And also just so I sort of have a bit of a steady flow. Generally, if things are going perfectly, I'd like there to be a Kickstarter that's nearing the end, like Union Asunder is, and then the new one that's coming at the same time. There's just overlap like that. It's all up in the air a bit, but I hope I've explained that well. I guess for a crunch, we'll just say guesstimate, cavalry should be autumn time. But as ever, you know, I pride myself on being communicative. I'll put out frequent updates. You can always reach me on the community group, and I'll say as things change. But I guess you have my recorded voice on camera now saying autumn-winter 2021 cavalry. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We've gone well over 10 minutes, so I hope YouTube lets me upload this. I'm just really, really happy with how things are going. I think we have a good range coming up here. And yeah, it's just wonderful to be able to do this for a living. I hope you all love the product when you get it. I think the Blender files are going to be very exciting. I forgot to mention that I'll be writing the documentation and filming tutorials and things next week. I want this to release with at least everything you would need to feel comfortable with exporting. But if there's anything I miss or you feel any uncertainties, just ask me. Yeah. And if you want to experiment with what the Blender files, you know, with the Blender files and how they are, if you buy these little guys, the Civil War guys, they come with a very similar Blender file, just bundled in. So if you want to practice the week before all this comes out, you can buy one of these. Yeah. Thanks. Haven't got a nice outro, so I'll just say bye.